Making a video on how to change your coolant, so what to take off, and then how to drain it, and yeah, and whichever coolant you want to use, but it'll be a quick tutorial. I'm going to start with removing this bottom cowl, fairing, whatever you guys want to call it. Removing these 5 bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'll switch to the other side. I like to keep all the bolts on the one side, altogether this side of the wheel. But that's your own personal preference. You could use little bolts or something to keep them one side. This is a different size Allen key. I don't know what the sizes are on these Allen keys. I think it's a 1 is a 5. This one's like a 3 or something, or for these bolts. Okay, now we're going to switch to the other side. Okay, same with this side. And loosen these 3 bolts. Yeah, there's also 5 on this side. Then we have a 5th bolt here. Let me just move, I'll move the camera now. This one over there. Okay, we're just going to put that bolt with those there. And I'm going to go to the other side to start unclipping. I've got all 10 bolts out. We're just going to start unclipping. See, I just put the top corner like that, came off. I'm going to do the same on the other side, and it's going to come off. So we to go that side. Do more or less the same here. I normally just pull them lightly at the top or somewhere here. But you could jiggle it as well. And then here is where it gets stuck a tiny bit, but you can just pull it a little bit. And there we go. Cowl is down. Fairing. And we'll be back shortly on how to remove when facing your motorcycle, from your clock, your digital clock, your display on the right hand side, how to remove that panel. Okay, we've actually to remove this right side panel. If you're standing on the side of the bike, you actually have 7 bolts in total to remove. 7 screws, bolts, whatever you want to call them. We're just going to go through them quickly. So it's the ones on top here by the mirrors. You can fold your mirrors back to make it easier. I've pre-loosened them. And then those are 2 up there. You've got this one big one here that needs to be removed. Those are 3. And then on the inside here, you've got one. I'm just trying to get focus there. You've got 4. You've got one down, one on top here. 5. Just trying to get a little bit of focus there. You've got one there. 6. And your 7th bolt is behind here. But we will remove the fairing and then loosen it from this plastic strip. So let me get going. It's very hard to film for you guys here. But there's the top one there, that one on the side, this one on the side, and then there's one behind there. But I'm just going to remove these You'll see they plastic like little, you screw them out and then clip them out. And then there's one steel one here. Let me see if I can get that there for you. Oh, it's just this lighting is just not working with me. This one here is a steel one. Okay, so now we're just going to proceed to remove the bolts I showed you guys. I've already loosened them, so I'm just going to loosen them with my hands. There's this top one. And then, just move the camera a bit. The two bottom mirrors. And note something about these bolts. These bolts here are shorter than your bottom fairings, so don't get them mixed up. Put them one side and yeah, just keep them separately for the top here. All 7 bolts on your side panel fairing. You'll see there's the plastic little clips I was talking about, the steel bolt. Then we should be ready to just, these panels come off actually very easy once it's just a little bit of jiggling. Clips in here, there we go, just a little bit of a slide, and here's the bolt I was talking about at the bottom here. Let me show you guys there. There's the other bolt at the bottom there that you have to remove to completely remove the fairing. I'm going to quickly do that. So once you've got the side panel off, you can go ahead and loosen your radiator cap. I don't take it off, I just keep it loose. It just allows air in. You can take it off if you want. I just keep mine loose like that. What I'd like to do first is drain the reservoir that sits, I don't know if you guys can see it nicely, but it sits behind, there it is. So what we're going to have to do there is take the plug off, take the little cap off, and drain the reservoir. I do that first so I can use my drain bucket. A cool little trick if you guys don't want to struggle with the reservoir from the back. You could always, as it goes in here where your radiator cap is, you can put your little pipe in there, and you can use gravity feed to get the reservoir empty. So that's just a little tip there. You go around and you remove your drain bolt, which is the 10mm bolt here. I'm going to show you now. If you get down here, you'll see there's an 8mm bolt. To your right, it's not that one, it's the left one, the 10mm. I'm going to do a flush because I'm changing to a propyl glycol, not the, what's the other one called? But I'm changing, so I'm going to be flushing it with distilled water. But as you can see, I just cracked the bolt. I don't take the bolt out and the antifreeze just sprays out. So yeah, it's the 10mm bolt that you undo, and I just let it drain slowly like this. Okay, so we're going to be reinstalling our drain bolt. I like to use these washers about twice or 3 times. They say in the manual to replace them every time, but I've been fine just reusing it. So I'm going to proceed to put that back. I don't know how well you guys can see there, but once you remove your old let me just move this camera up a little bit, but you can obviously opt for a new one. So the manual does call for 12 Newton meters of torque. I normally just hand tighten, just make them snug. I hate over tightening things. So yeah, you can use that. I'll put that up on the screen as well. Okay, so what I've done here is I've poured those 4 1 litres into this 5 litre, and you will see why in a second. It's easier to fill it this way. It fills slowly and gets most of the air out. And we're back. I use gravity to fill up the radiator that way, and I use it for the little reservoir with this little pipe of mine. It just flows nice and slow, and then gets most of the air out. So what I do with this is just want to give this a wipe. Okay, I'm just going to put this towel on here. Give this antifreeze a little bit of a jiggle. Pull this up. The capacity is 2.27 litres. I'll pop that on the screen as well. I'm just going to stick this in here. Just going to give this a little bit of a... I might have to do that again. There we go. And then I'll leave it in there. That's just the easier way of trying to fill with the funnel. Here you can actually theoretically just leave it and it'll fill. When the air bubbles get too much, I just hold it, seal it off here, wait till the bubbles disappear and go again. So yeah, it should take 2.27 litres, and I'll be back once this is done. Okay, so we've come to the part where this is full to the top. I'm going to take it off the paddock stand because it's going to want more. I can already see it's gone down. Might have to turn the handlebars a bit. And then we're just going to manually fill it now a little bit, because it's only going to take a very little bit. And then we're going to proceed to fill the reservoir. For now, I'm just going to put the cap on, just keep it closed, and we're going to do the same trick here. We're going to fill this till the overflow starts running out. Till it starts running out the overflow. There, it's starting to drip out the bottom there. As you can see, it's full. I'm just going to pull this out. Okay, as you guys can see, the radiator is full to the top. I don't know if you can see very nicely in there. We're just going to make sure, after we've done that, the reservoir cap is back on. And then also we're gonna just check here that the drain bolt is nice, there's no leaks. As you can see, there's no leaks there. Then I'm just going to proceed to put the radiator cap on slightly. No, actually second that, we're going to be back in a sec. I want to start the bike without the radiator cap, and then the fluid's going to drop and we're going to fill it as it drops. Okay, we are going to now start the bike with the radiator cap open and full as we see the level drop. Just want to get this ready. I lean the bike straight up just for the initial start. Up to about 90 so that the thermostat opens, and there's no leak so far. It's the next day. I completely let the bike cool down. I've opened the radiator cap. That's after we did the whole starting it. It needs a little bit more coolant. Any air that you might still have out, it's going to get rid of in the little your little reservoir. It's going to get out there. So I'm going to set it up. As you guys can see, the level is way past the upper mark there, but that'll, as you're riding, if there's still air in the system, it will get rid of the air and suck some more fluid. So yeah, and it'll come out the overflow, so that's why I fill it right to the top. Okay, we're back. Now we're going to install the right side fairing. Well, standing this side of the bike, this side fairing. So, the little thing to watch out for when you're clipping on the side fairing here is there's this little latch there, and that there has to clip in on. You'll see there's a little piece that it slides in here on, and there. So that's probably going to be your most trickiest part, but then everything lines up and it's nice and closed here. You'll see if you've made a mistake, there'll be a little bit of a gap here, and then you just got to redo it. From there, we're gonna open a little. I'm going to use this black one we used from yesterday with a 5mm Allen key, and I like to start at the top here. I don't fasten them completely because I like to make sure everything's lining up nicely before I fasten everything down, so I leave a little bit loose. And then also remember your two shorter screws for the mirror, bolts for the mirror. They're shorter than the fairing bolts here. Just finding them here. Yeah, they were the short ones.
and there shouldn't be any force required to put this stuff on. If your screws are not going in properly and they're not going in smoothly, as you can see, I'm just turning them in by hand, then you know something's not aligned properly here. And it's normally to do with this little clip here and this one here that has to slide in under that piece there. These are all being screwed in with my hands. So if you have any sort of restriction and they don't want to turn, then reanalyze what's going on. Okay, then this piece here that I showed you yesterday, this bottom bolt here is quite a tricky little one. This one here, I don't know if you can still see it, this thing here, it has to be bolted in. So what I'm going to do, and that was a steel screw, I'm going to go from this side and get it in with a shortish screwdriver. And from the back here, you can even see in here that you can clip your little clips, your little plastic clips that clip in here. So that one's on there. On the front here, you've got this plastic clip, goes on top. Push that in. And then the other plastic one is on the side here. And we've got another steel screw here. Goes in the middle here, as in the previous section. You guys know where they are. You're just going to reassemble. So we've got all 7 of these bolts back, the back here. So we've got your one at the bottom, 1, 2, this middle one with steel, plastic clip, mirror bolt. Okay, now I'm going to tighten all of them. Okay, now that we know everything's fastened, I'll be back shortly so we can put on the bottom belly fairing. Yeah, I'll be back shortly. Okay, we're going to be installing the belly fairing. While you've got it off, I just took a moment just to quickly clean it more or less. I'm going to be installing this back now. Let's put this down here. I start from this side. This piece, if you remember from earlier in the video, it's got a little piece that it catches at the back there. So I like to start on this side, slide it through, putting it down. What I'm going to do here is the back here. I'm just going to intake the bigger bolt, our big bolt here, just to get things so I don't have to keep supporting it everywhere. And then we can clip in our front nicely. I'm not turning it in, it's just helping me to support it so I don't have to hold it at the back. Then I can clip in more successfully in front here. Because the piece that's going to give you the most grief here is this front section. Getting the front section clipped in there is a bit tricky. I'm just going to move over. There we go. When everything lines up, you should just be able to screw these screws in with your hands. It's tricky to line up this bottom section and here. But once your bottom is in, then you should be good to go. That's the tricky part. It's got those clips and you've got to clip the sides. But once you've got everything in, you should be good to go. Okay, so once you've finished, everything should be back together nicely without any leaks. And yeah, that's a coolant change from 2017 to 2025. I don't think much has changed.